Wake up, everybody, no more sleeping in bed. No more backward thinking, time for thinking ahead. My name is Chaz Shepard and I'm from Philadelphia. Most of the time it's Philly, but when I want to make sure there's no misunderstanding, I say Philadelphia. So Philly has this swag, but Philly also has a sense of home, foundation. So it's a big city, but it's not too big. A lot of people say Philly, but they're on the outside of Philly. Mainly was in South Philly. Growing up there, went to school in Southwest Philly. Spent weekends with my dad in North Philly. So downtown was walking or bike distance for me. There's more Italians on the south side in Philly. And so you have a lot of Italians, you have a lot of Vietnamese, Asian persuasion. So it's a bit more diverse in South Philadelphia. But as far as the brown folk, it's the same north and south. North is considered a bit more edgy, sometimes more dangerous, but there's projects in the south and the north, Philadelphia. I was the kid where the Bible says, in whatever state I am, therewith to be content. I was content in all of it. I stayed a block away from the projects, so I did hang. I was on a mainly Italian block, older people on the block that I lived on, and literally just a block away, everything changed. So I loved growing up there because I had the arts which supported what's inside of me. The type of impact that the city had on me was based on the people that I was surrounded by, the circle that I was in the city. So of course, it's just like at a church, you can have a number of churches within the church. And so, different circles, different vibes, in Philly. I wasn't impacted with any fear in Philadelphia, though there was much to be afraid of. I just knew better, than putting myself in those situations. I knew when to be in and when to be out of the projects hanging with my friend. I could sense automatically the vibe of the area I was in. At one point, I looked at a guy just coming from the supermarket, and just by looking at him, I could see that he was up to no good and that I was attractive to him in the sense that he wanted what I had. He thought that this would be a good move to make, to steal my bike. I never looked back at him. I just picked up the speed on my bike. When I did look back, he was behind me running, chasing me. So I was always very intuitive, and I could feel what was around me. So I was never fearful, but I was always aware. What endears me to Philly is the sense of home. It's someplace being home and positively home is enough for you to love it, for you to be loyal to it. Even though I am not there on a daily now, I have kept the home, and back and forth. When I was living in New York, I was mostly in Philly, because just of the sense of home, not because I was working there or I was needed at all there, but it is always a sense of foundation, and that's what home is. It's foundation. And because there aren't negative memories, or overly negative experiences there, it's a wonderful place for me to be, because I'm a nostalgic kind of guy. I like to remember where things started, where I come from. Every time somebody comes to Philly with me, they always get a brief documentary tour, because everywhere we go, I'm saying, and that's where this happened, and I remember being over there, and I'm like a Philly, at least South Philly tour guide. The only difference that I noticed in Philadelphia from when I was growing up and right now is the changing of places. Places change. And so the place that my mother would treat me to and surprise me with, called Hillary's Ice Cream, is now called the Condom Kingdom. So, where I would get my shoes as a kid, Buster Brown, is now a smoke shop. Places change, you know, and so you can feel that, you know, as you keep living, you know, you just keep seeing change, whether it's you or what and who's around you. You know what I mean? So other than that, Philly is still the same swag of Philly. I believe I first moved out of Philly. I never was not home, always kept home in Philly. But the first time I came to California, I believe, was in 93, 92 or 93, but I believe it was 1993. And that was because I was doing my first TV show called Sinbad here. And then after that run of doing those shows, went back to Philly for maybe about a year, and then back to Los Angeles to do my second show, which was Steve Harvey's first show called Me and the Boys. From there I stayed for about 15 years and did a quick 6-month tenure in Osaka, Japan, then came back to Los Angeles for about 1 year, then to New York for the following 11 years, then back to LA to pick it up. A casting director offered for me to audition or at least meet with an agent in New York. And my mother asked if I was interested or if I wanted to do it. I just looked up and said, okay, sure. We went there. He was more enthused than I was. He started sending me out on auditions. I immediately started booking them. And it was natural for me, you know, to do what I was doing. So it was never a decision like this is what I want to do. It was more this is what I'm doing. The only decisions I made was saying yes to the offer, saying yes to the audition. I gave it a shot, not necessarily knowing what I was shooting at. I believe you get out of it what you put into it.
Get out of what you put into it?
I'm about to go to so that was the catchphrase. So I believe you get out of it what you put into it. When it comes to acting or any business, I believe that as much as I exert myself is as much reward as I'll get. So at this time, I believe that it's a good time because I'm putting my energy into acting in particular right now. And the more energy I'm putting into it, the more feedback I'm getting, the more progress I'm making. Once I decided to do it again, because there were a few years that I wasn't in it, once I decided to act again, professionally and concerning screen in particular, not just theater, then those doors started opening because I kept paying attention to it and putting my energy toward it, doing what was necessary, what was within my power to do. And then what was outside of me started coming to me. And then, of course, I had to continue and be diligent in that. So now I am back in the professional side of acting, the business aspect of it, and recently have done some fun things, some fun projects. So this recent jump of mine has been to reposition myself. I remember some years ago, T.D. Jakes had a whole campaign, if you would, about repositioning yourself. So I believe that it's nobody's responsibility but mine to get what I want. I only want what's right for me. I feel that what's right for me is what's inside of me. So I'm not jumping because I think the world needs me or because, you know, God needs me or anything that, you know, could be attached to the idea of jumping. That's outside of, I'm just simply following what's inside of me. But I feel responsible to do that because my only responsibility is me. You know, I also have a daughter. So I feel that my responsibility with her is to set her up to do what's inside of her and to be able to nurture what's inside of her. So this jump is for the both of us. It's for me to be what I'm supposed to be, which I deem what's inside of me, that's all. And also to set her up to be able to do the same. I'm as far as the beginning of the jump. A little bit, maybe a little further than the beginning. I'm not sure because I can't tell exactly where I am in the process. All I know is I'm following what's inside of me. And so diligence is what I feel is necessary. This jump, the jump being moving from a comfort zone to something new that I have not experienced before, but what I believe in. That's what the jump is. So where I was before the jump was in a better financial place, also having a place to stay on a daily of my own. This jump entails me staying in my car at night, that is, sleeping in my car. Though there are friends around, I believe this is my journey and my responsibility, so I do not want to be in their space more than necessary, because I acknowledge the fact that it's their space. So this is my journey. This is new, but the exciting thing about it is I think I'm doing what I need to do for what I want. I believe it'll pay off. The part of faith where it's the evidence of things not seen. And so, and to see things happen in the direction of what I want, that was not happening before, is very much an encouragement to what I'm doing, to this jump. So diligence is extremely necessary. Faith in the positive outcome of it is extremely necessary. Wisdom, meditation is extremely necessary, because the vision is, I believe, is easy to have. The faith that it can happen for some of us is easy to have, but the process is going to require some other things outside of just faith and vision. Your attitude, your mood, all of that has to be in the right place to continue. So meditation is a big deal for me these days, more than it was before. And just watching how consistency works. Well, I see for myself the manifestation of my goals. My goals, I think, are pretty simple. It's to be a consistent resource of inspiration, love, provision to my daughter and whatever children are to come. Is to be a consistent, highly paid actor in quality productions, to distribute, perform, and sell my music throughout the world, to maintain an independent, financially abundant institution of world improvement, to live my life according to my standards of comfort for the rest of my life, to share my life ideas with the world via verbal, musical, scripted, and literature communication, to maintain perfect health for the rest of my life, to maintain a perfect physique according to my standards for the rest of my life, and to remain out of all unwanted debt for the rest of my life. What I see next is the manifestation of all of my goals. I am Chaz Shepard, representing 100% Philly, and from here I rise with pride.